In today's world, we have something called the early bird special. In my day, it was kind of like an older people thing. Only older people went out for the early bird special. So the good news for today, it's good news for some, and for others, it may not be such good news. The good news is that in heaven, there's no early bird special. God loves us all, and God accepts us all. It doesn't matter what we've done. Everyone is invited. Yes, even those who are not here in church with us. Everyone is invited to enjoy God's love and endless mercy. Today, as we heard in the first reading, our ways are not like God's ways. Oftentimes we try to justify what is God doing, why is God doing X, Y, and Z. Brothers and sisters, the first reading, the prophet Isaiah tells us we're not like God. We can't even we can't even begin to fathom what God thinks and how God thinks. It's a good thing that God's ways are not like our ways. Brothers and sisters, oftentimes we find ourselves in a situation where we can't forgive or we can't move on. God in those times will find a way to forgive. God will find a way to get us through whatever ailments, whatever difficulties we're coming through. As a Theo, there's one thing that I've heard. I've got many nieces, and there's one thing that I hear from them, and then before they were even able to conjure up other thoughts, they were able to tell me, Theo, that's not fair. As Father Mark told us in the first Mass, life isn't fair. Brothers and sisters, oftentimes we're going to see other people getting things and getting blessed in ways that we don't understand. I myself have seen people, my brothers and sisters, I'm the oldest, I'm a twin, and my two youngest siblings have already bought houses. They got married before I did. And I used to sit back and wonder, God, why? Why, God? Why am I not next? If we go back to the first reading, it's God's ways are not our ways. Not everything. Just a minute ago, we were talking in the sacristy, and as it's my birthday this week, and one thing that I reflected on is that I don't know it all, and I didn't know it all. Back then, when I was a young kid, I used to try and I wanted to know everything. I wanted to know, why is God doing this? And at this point in my life, I understand that not everything is for me to understand. God's ways are not for me to understand. God does what God does because it's God. Oftentimes I did try to justify, my worldly actions, what I was doing, and make excuses. Brothers and sisters, God's not like that. I like to often think of heaven, the kingdom of heaven, almost like a party. The good thing about today's readings is that it's an invitation for all of us, an invitation to the party. The thing about the party, though, is all of us are in line ready for the party right now. We're at the gate, waiting for them to let us into the gate of the party. But what the scriptures are telling us today is that it's the people out there. We're all here in church. We're good, right? We're good. We're in church. But the scriptures today are telling us that it's the people that are not in church. It's the people that haven't found God yet. Every one of us have people in our lives who haven't experienced what it's like to be in the presence of God and to love God the way we do. And today's scriptures are telling us that it's those people that are going to be the first in the gate. I'd like to think of myself as one of the first, but the scriptures are saying it's not going to happen like that. And while I want to be like, but I come to church every week, I do homilies, I go and work with them. Right. It's not for me to understand. The way God moves, the way God does things, I'm not ever going to understand it. This parable that we hear today tells us of God's endless mercy, not just for those who are already followers of Christ, but for those who have not yet turned to Christ. We are all equally deserving of God's love. Even those people that we look at and we're like, even that person deserves God's love and mercy. While it probably helps to come to church every week and do good things, the parable tells us today that that's not everything. Last week, a wise theologian told us that when we forgive with our mind, our mouth, and our heart. What I took today from today's readings is that when we labor for God, we don't labor for God because of what we're going to get in the end. We labor for God out of love. And when we do that, we do it with our whole mind, our mouth, and our heart. Brothers and sisters, I pray that this week we go out and we search and reflect on our own lives and how we can better extend God's love and grace to those around us, not just to the easy people, the people that we love, but to the people that kind of get on our nerves, to the people we don't know, to the people that don't know God. Brothers and sisters, I pray this week that God opens our hearts and allows us all to really be the hands and heart of Christ to those around us.